Hey, so I'm outside basketball waiting for my son, and I thought I would talk about buffers. And so if we're putting this conversation in any sort of bucket, let's put this in the bucket of you have done the carnivore diet for a good long while, and you are seeing results. Maybe not done with your journey if it's weight loss or healing, but you're interested in potentially adding some things back into your diet. Let's put this in that bucket. Okay. So I don't want to confuse. I help a lot of new carnivores, and I don't want to confuse anyone who is trying to get results on carnivore, because I believe very wholeheartedly that you need a good 3 months on carnivore, be strict carnivore before you introduce anything else in. Do the carnivore lifestyle. Sorry, let me turn off my wipers. Do the carnivore lifestyle as a true elimination diet. That is the beauty of it. Okay, so now that we're there, let's talk about something that I like to call buffers. And this was a concept that I taught my clients. I've been teaching for over 10 years. Buffers are non-diet foods that buffer your experience on whatever lifestyle or diet that you're on. Now, we can hem and haw about the fact that the carnivore lifestyle is that a lifestyle and not a diet. But let's just say a buffer is something that will help you to buffer a way of eating that has guardrails up. That's not restrictive. It's not limiting, but you've got guardrails up for a reason. Okay. Buffers can help you stay on your plan and give you a little bit of extra enjoyment to help you stay motivated, to help you keep up your willpower. It's almost like a little cheat. Here are some buffers that I use in my carnivore lifestyle. Now that I've been on the carnivore diet for 3 years, I've done a whole lot of healing. I have mainly, if you don't know my story, I have healed anxiety, I have healed chronic inflammation, joint pain, and most importantly, food addiction with the carnivore lifestyle. Because I started carnivore, I discovered that I was a food addict. So the buffers that I use, sorry, I'm getting to the point, but the buffers that I use are pickles, like really good pickles that are not sitting in any gross brine. They're just really, Grillo's is one of my favorite. So pickles, yellow mustard, banana peppers every once in a while. Oh, and tahini. I use a lot of tahini, and also a very clean ranch that it's called Flavor God. I've shared it on here before. So those are things that I use that are non-carnivore foods that buffer my experience with carnivore. I don't use them all the time. I don't use them every day. Pickles I use pretty much every day. I just really enjoy them. And I've looked it up many times, and I've evaluated why I'm using pickles. And it could be that I need more sodium. It could be that my gut, that my digestion needs the extra acidity. I think it's just because it breaks up the monotony of the meats and eggs and some cheese that I do. And it gives me like that flavor punch of a meal. I've always enjoyed it. In fact, before I went carnivore, I always used to make what I called rando bowls. And that was just like all the vegetables, all the meats with some citrus and some tang on top. I really enjoyed just like a lot of flavor. So those are the things that I use to buffer the carnivore way of life for me. And they feel fine for me. I have tested them. Now, when I start to add in things like romaine lettuce, and like a homemade Caesar dressing, sometimes I find that certain vegetables just don't make me feel good. And that's the beauty of carnivore, is that you're able to reintroduce foods one at a time and see how you feel. And you get to decide what your lifestyle is going to be. Are you going to be a ketovore? Are you going to go more towards animal-based? Do the research. Understand the science of it. I don't believe in animal-based just because I think that fruit and your liver and all the honey in your liver. I just don't know that it's super supportive of the liver. And I think that a lot of people are still handling carb addiction and using fruit as their addiction, just like people on the carnivore diet are using dairy and still staying addicted to carbohydrates through excessive use of dairy. I think people are doing that on animal-based. But that's for me. I just decide that animal-based is not for me. I think that I could overeat fruit. I think some berries here and there, probably not a problem for most people, but I think there's a lot of people overusing fruits and honey. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, buffers, you find your own type of buffer. I had a call today with my Carnivore Collective group, and we were talking about all sorts of things, but one of my members mentioned that she enjoys having she enjoys having butter coffee with some heavy cream, and she puts a little bit of a chocolate element packet in, and that's her treat every day. And I could say, you know what, that's not carnivore, and I could be all on her about that. Or I could say, you know what, I don't think that you should have anything that is sweetened, even if it's an element electrolyte packet, because that just keeps the sweet taste in your life. But let's take a step back and say, are you eating processed foods and seed oils? No. Are you eating cane sugar? No. Then what's the problem with someone just using a buffer that feels good for them? Now, if she were to come to me and be like, I'm not getting results and I'm really annoyed, I'm having all sorts of cravings, I would do the coach thing and I would say, I think you got to tailor back that experience with the sweet tastes, and I think that you got to take out the heavy cream and do a real strict carnivore of meat, salt, water. But she's not. She's getting decent results. She's enjoying her experience. She's enjoying that drink in the morning, and it's buffering her experience of having to use a lot of willpower the rest of the day to eat carnivore and to adapt to this lifestyle. So that's totally fine. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. But remember, we put this in the context of going to adding buffers back in after you've done strict elimination. I think you got to start there first. I think you earn the right to have this whole discussion about buffers once you have done strict carnivore. Hope this helps. And let me know. Does it?